Torsten Heinz's lot seem to have pinned all hope on BlackBerry 10, BlackBerry's new platform which launched in January this year on the Z10 and then soon showed up shortly after on the QWERTY toting BlackBerry Q10. Those devices have generally been well received, but BlackBerry is not standing still in getting its fledgling operating system out there, launching this, the BlackBerry Q5, a mid-range QWERTY toting effort aimed at making BlackBerry 10 an affordable proposition. We're going to see what the Q5's got in store today, so keep watching, but if you just want to read the written review, click the Know Your Mobile bug at any time and you'll be taken right to it. Right from the off, you can see that this one is perhaps aimed at BlackBerry traditionalists, as its design harks back to older BlackBerries in the series, such as the Curve range. It's certainly not a relic though, and features some of the same aesthetics as seen on the BlackBerry Q10, so that's some nice lines and gently rounded corners, all combined into a sort of candy bar form factor. You get a full 35 key chiclet style keypad on the front fascia, as well as a 3.1 inch IPS LCD display. Whilst it might seem that there's a bit of wasted space around the screen, that bezel around the edge is there to enable the gestures that BlackBerry 10 uses for navigation, but more about that in a minute. It's a one-piece unit like the Q10, but here you get a plastic outer shell as opposed to the woven glass and aluminium construction. But it's still well put together, and at just 120 grams, it's light enough not to weigh your pockets down, but heavy enough to make it feel nice and sturdy. In the top left on the rear panel, you've got your 5 megapixel camera and LED flash, and dotted around the gently cambered sides are the connectivity ports, micro SIM and micro SD under one flap, power on and 3.5mm audio jack on the top, and volume rocker 3/4 of the way up the left hand side. If you're not familiar with BlackBerry 10, it's probably worth listening up now, because this mobile platform is unlike any of BlackBerry's previous ones, or indeed any other platform out there. You see, there's no home screen as such, and all navigation is carried out via a series of swipe gestures to open up what BlackBerry likes to call active frames. Opening stuff up is done in the traditional way, by tapping on an icon, but to go home as it were, you need to swipe up from the bottom of the screen. See, that's what that bezel thing was for. When you swipe up from the bottom of the screen, it lets you do it without accidentally tapping on one of the keys. Very clever. It's a bit of a learning curve, this navigation system, and you can often be left frustrated looking for a home button to exit an app. Give it a couple of days though and it becomes second nature. Also on hand is BlackBerry Hub, a handy feature that groups together all your interactions from connected accounts into one easy to reach place. It is a quite useful feature, but it doesn't seem to like syncing with connected accounts for some reason. So for example, if you get a notification within the Twitter app and action it, when you go back in the Hub it'll still be there. Bit of a strange one that. Now, BlackBerry have never really been renowned for their camera prowess, but the snapper on the Q5 is really quite disappointing. It's a 5 megapixel effort and you do get an LED flash, but that doesn't really help much, and shots taken in unnatural lighting tend to come out in a yellowy hue. Shots taken with a BlackBerry Q5 are just about good enough to post to Twitter, but for any other purpose they're seriously lacking. So, you've seen what it looks like, you've seen how BlackBerry 10 works, I suppose you'll want to know about processing speed and battery life and all that kind of stuff. Well, the dual-core Snapdragon S4 chip is the same as the one in the BlackBerry Q10, only this time it's clocked at 1.2 GHz, and that makes for snappy navigation and quick opening of apps. Video playback at 720p is well defined with good colour saturation, but because of the size of the screen, you wouldn't really want to spend ages squinting, so that means iPlayer sessions for any length of time are out of the question. One great plus point is that it seems to go forever as well. You can read the full results of our extended battery tests in the written review, but for now we'll tell you that over general use and with mobile data disabled, we got nearly 2 days out of one charge. So, is it worth going out and getting one? Well, BlackBerry 10 brings BlackBerry's OS kicking and screaming into the here and now, but to be fair, it doesn't really have anything to tempt existing Android or iOS users away from their operating systems. If you're a BlackBerry user at present though, perhaps one coming out of a contract on an older Curve device, then this and its QWERTY might well float your boat. However, if you're just after an affordable functional smartphone, there are plenty of other options out there that can do more for less. To be honest, we're not sure that there'll be many queuing up for this one. See, queuing up, Q5, that's the joke.